Hello, my Cornerstone peoples. Um, Today we're talking about applications and interviews, and we're going over the jobs that we went over in one of the earlier lessons, the pet sitting job and the chocolate factory job. So let's look at the pet sitting job application again. All right, I'm sorry, not application, the description. Okay, so job description, location, the positive effect. It's so cute. The paw. Job title: pet sitter. Okay. Alrighty. Duties: the pet sitter is responsible for watching and caring for pets when owners are away. This job involves feeding, walking, and grooming cats, dogs, and other household pets. I hope that'll make you groom iguanas. Can you imagine that? All right, let's see. Um, Specific job duties: give food and water to pets according to schedule. Okay. Take dogs for walks and play with pets. Sounds like fun. Give medicine to pets if needed. Not always easy. Care for pets without supervision. Okay, so you need to be able to care for the pet yourself, okay, without anyone helping you. That's what they want. Hours and times. All right. Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay, so 8 in the morning to 5 in the evening. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 9 hours. Um, so that would be 9 hours on Saturday and 9 hours on Sunday. So that'd be 18 hours a week. So that's part time. But the schedule is subject to change. So they might change the schedule, you know, to suit the holidays or whatever, you know. They might ask you to work more hours during the holidays because people are out doing more things, going on vacations and stuff. All right. Maybe not now during COVID, but who knows? Okay, job skills and attitudes. Okay, must be kind to animals. Must be able to safely walk in the community with pets. Must be able to work independently. It means by yourself. Must be able to follow directions. Must be able to bathe pets as needed. Come on, Rover, it's time for a bath. Okay. Must be able to give food and water to pets on a given schedule. Fido has to eat at 9 a.m. and he has to have supper at 6 p.m. Oh, it wouldn't be that because he would eat at 9 a.m. and then have supper at 4:30 p.m. maybe because it doesn't go later than 5. Must be able to dress appropriately for the weather. So you've got to bundle up when it's cold and you're walking the dogs and wear sunscreen when it's hot. Alrighty. Now we'll go to the next job description. Okay, now we're looking at the chocolate factory. Imagine how good it must smell in there. You know, breathing in all that sweet chocolate smell. Okay, so location: Sweet Charity Chocolates. Job title: Holiday Order Selector. So this is probably a temporary job. All right, because they probably only need the help for the holidays, and then things may slow down for them, you know. So they might lay people off after the holidays, but that's okay. It's good to get experience. Alrighty, so duties. The holiday order selector is responsible for filling customer orders as described in the order forms. Steady work rate and attention to detail are critical aspects of this job. All right. Specific job duties. Find and select chocolates to fill customer order forms. Alrighty. Use checklists to fill order. Okay, so they might give you a data pad, like an iPad or something. Or they might give you an old fashioned checklist, an old fashioned clipboard with a checklist. You check off things. Either way, you have to read the checklist and fill the order properly. If it says the box needs to have 15 peanut butter cups, 10 marshmallow cups, um, 10 chocolate caramel creams, you got to make sure you put each one in the box correctly, wearing your gloves and your mask for safety. You don't want to spread germs. Okay, so pack the boxes with care. Again, wearing your mask and gloves for safety. Carry orders to the delivery platform. And most places like you to be able to lift 50 pounds over your head. Like you to be strong enough to do that. I think this job was less than 50 pounds, but good rule of thumb is 50 pounds. All right, so hours and times. The current schedule is weekdays, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m., 10 in the morning to 4 p.m. So Monday, so 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 6 hours a day, 5 days a week. And that's 5 times 6 is 30. So 30 hours a week. I think that's full time. So it's full time. It's a full time temporary job. So you'd work full time for a few weeks, and then the job would probably be over. But hey, you could say I worked at the chocolate factory. What could be cooler than that? Job skills and attitudes. Must be able to fill orders correctly. All right. Must be able to move around the warehouse safely. Yes. Must be able to work on your feet, but I'm sure in conforming to the American with Disabilities Act, they must allow people to work in wheelchairs as well. Must be able to follow social distancing requirements. This is a modern, up-to-date application. Must be able to work with others. Can't be sitting around all day going, yeah, 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 yeah. You have to be able to get along with other people, and not get in arguments like, hey, I was using the chocolate sorting machine. It's my turn. You don't want to be arguing about stuff like that. Okay. Okay. Now in the next part here, we're going to be filling out the job application. And which job will you apply for? You have to decide what job you will apply for when you're filling out this application as part of this assignment. I will pick Sweet Charity Chocolates because I love chocolates. I love to work and smell chocolate all day. Desired position. All right. Holiday order selector. All right. Whoops. Look at that. You can't even fit it in. So let's abbreviate it by putting order selector. Last name, Marola. First name, Matthew. You guys call me Matt, but it's Matthew. Street address. I'll put the work address, 665 Dyer Avenue. Oops. Dyer Avenue. Cranston. RI stands for Rhode Island. That's the postal abbreviation for Rhode Island. And the zip code is 0292, 20. So this is what you'd fill out if you were mailing something to Cornerstone School or to me at Cornerstone School. So I'm using it as my address for this application to preserve my private information. Education. All right, I'm going to put Cornerstone School. Years attended. Oh, let's see. I'll say 2000 to, all right, that's not going to work. So I'm going to have to put my real high school. New Bedford High School. Oops. Abbreviate. Bedford High School. Oh, years attended. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna put let's see. I put 1998. Not what I really attended, but I don't want to give away my age. Or I'll put 2005. Come on. 2005. 2009. All right. Okay, availability. When am I available to work? So they want weekdays, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you want to show up early to work if you can. So I'm going to put 9 a.m. from Monday through Friday. 9 a.m., 9 a.m., 9 a.m., 9 a.m., 9 a.m. And so I'm going to go through check off all the hours they want me to work. So let them know I'm available. All the way down to 4 p.m. Now, if you're not available to work those hours, then you shouldn't be putting those hours. But you probably wouldn't be applying for this job if you couldn't work those hours. So, all right. So there you go. That's a review. All right. Order selector. I'm applying for Sweet Charity Chocolates to be an holiday order selector. My last name is Marola. My first name is Matthew. I live at 665 Dyer Avenue in Cranston, Rhode Island, 02920. Oh, I forgot the telephone number. Good thing we reviewed. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put 942-2388. And that's in the 401 area code, but I'm sure I can't fit that in here. So I put Cornerstone School as my address. It seems like I do kind of live there, you know. I'm always there, you know. Okay, education, New Bedford High School, New Bedford, Massachusetts. That's where I'm from. Years attended 2005 to 2009. If you believe that, I have a bridge in Brooklyn I want to sell you. All right. Monday through Friday, I checked 9 a.m. all the way down to 4 p.m. I am available to work. All right. Okay. Next, we're going to watch some interview videos to go over interviewing skills. So stay tuned. Okay, my Cornerstone friends. Today we're going to be watching these videos on how to answer questions that you will no doubt be asked in a job interview. Okay, so when you show up for a job interview, it's important to show up. You might want to show up a little. You probably want to show up a little bit early. All right, like 10 minutes early. So if you have an interview at 9 a.m., you want to show up at like say 8:50 a.m. so that you don't look like you're rushed. Um, so you also want to look the interviewer right in the eye. You know, and not just like look down and look kind of bashful. You know. Um, you want to have a nice, firm handshake. How are you? Shake someone's hand. Introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Matt Marola. How are you? You want to answer questions calmly. Use your coping skills to be calm. All right. You can bring your resume, whether it's paper or whether it's like a PowerPoint. Okay, your PowerPoint resume. Um, you can answer questions with words or with pictures or with your iPad and your Proloquo or whatever program you use to answer questions with. All right, so without further ado, let us watch the video.
Today we're going to be tackling the dreaded question, why do you want to work here? Now this is a very common question, and chances are in almost every interview you go on, you're going to be asked this question.
Because I'm broke and I really need the money.
So as tempting as honest as that may be, what they really want to know is if you're looking for their job or if you're looking for just any job. If you come across as desperate and needy, then it's just looking like you're going to take any job that comes along, and you may leave them as soon as something better comes.
I don't really want to work here, but I'm trying to afford the spring break trip with these girls that I know. Apparently, playing Call of Duty is not a real job. Whatever, Mom. I heard employees get free sandwiches. I've got the biggest crush on the girl who works the night shift.
Your best bet is to focus on the company itself. I recently talked to Risha, a hired Snagajob member, who got hired at Kohl's during a group interview. Now what they did was they went around the room and asked everyone the same question. And when the why do you want to work here question came up, everyone answered with things like,
honestly, I'll do anything. I just really need the money.
So to set herself apart, Risha said, I want to work here because I admire your staff's friendliness and I want to be a part of that. So what she did was focus on the company itself and focus on what she admired about them. Their customer service, something they take very seriously. And that really set her apart from the rest of the group. What you really want to do is keep your answers about them and how well the two of you can work together. Make sure you do research on the company before you go in for the interview. Take a look around at their website and see if they've won any awards, maybe for how they treat their employees or how they treat their customers. These are things you can mention specifically when answering that question that can really show that you take your job search seriously and really want this job.
I've been a fan of Build-A-Bear for years now, and I think this is a great place for me to put my customer service skills to work. In fact, I saw on your website that you won an award for being a great place to work. And every time I've been in there, I've seen how happy your employees were. I would love to join the team.
So the three things to answer this question really well are, first, talk about how much you admire the company. Second, talk about what a great fit you would be in this position. And third, show that you've done research on the company itself. So interviewing itself can be a little stressful, and some of the best advice we can give you is to practice, practice, practice. Practice! It will help ease some of the nerves, and you'll go in with a confidence that you know what's coming ahead. So thanks for joining. This week we're going to be tackling the dreaded, where do you see yourself in 5 years question. Now, a lot of you have been asking us about this. You're not sure how to answer it, and a lot of employers do ask this in interviews. So there's a good chance you're going to see this along the way. So we're going to give you a couple tips to make you more confident when this comes along. Okay, let's face it. This question is hard, and there's really no getting around that fact.
What? Are you serious? I don't even know what I want for dinner tonight. How am I expected to know where I'm going to be in 5 years?
Now remember, hiring managers cannot predict the future, and they don't expect you to either. What they really want to know is, are you worth the time and money it's going to take to hire you? It takes a lot of time and money to hire an employee. Really, it's an investment. So if you answer,
dude, you haven't heard of our band? We're going to be totally touring the country.
Then they'll know that you're not really looking for a place to learn and grow. You're just looking for something to hold you over until your real plan takes off.
I don't know. I just want to be making money. Definitely running my own business. I don't really like thinking that far into the future. It makes my brain hurt. Definitely running my own music label.
So the best way to answer this question is to pick a few professional goals that you really have and go from there.
I'm really looking forward to putting my customer service skills to use in a fast-paced, challenging environment. The restaurant industry is somewhere where I'd like to develop my career, which is why I think this position is great.
So that was a great answer because one, you mentioned your skills, the strengths that you have. Two, you talk about the industry as a whole and that you're interested in investing your future in that. Three, you tell them you're up for a challenge, so they know you're going to be a really good worker. And four, you mention the position specifically, so they understand that you're really interested in what they have to offer. Now, interviewing can cause a lot of anxiety. We know this, we've all gone through this. But if you practice your answers and practice the questions that you're probably going to be getting, it can really help ease all the nerves. Thanks for. Now, this week we're going to talk about the job interview question, tell me about yourself. Now, if you've been in a job interview, I'd be willing to bet that you've gotten this question before. And if you've never been in a job interview, now this is something you really want to practice because chances are you're going to get this. This is probably the most common interview question, and your interview probably will start out with this. So this is really your first impression with the interviewer. We know you're awesome. You know you're awesome, but this is your chance to show the interviewer that you can make the best employee.
I was born in Philadelphia. Well, not exactly in Philadelphia, more of like just outside of it, but still close enough to get some of those cheesesteaks.
And I'm a Leo, and my favorite movie is Notting Hill. Oh my gosh, I so love it when Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts get together at the end. It's the best.
And in case you didn't know, Philadelphia means brotherly love. From there, I moved to New Jersey.
I'm really interested in Jennifer Aniston's personal happiness.
My favorite food is buffalo chicken wings.
And finally, I love my dog, Grace Kelly. She's the cutest little thing. So really, the best way to answer this is to follow the SET model. So the skills that you have, the experience that you've gained, and how long you've been doing it.
I've been working in the customer service field in the restaurant industry as a server for about 5 years now. I really enjoy the industry as a whole, which is why I'm looking forward to this opportunity.
So let's take another look and see why that was such a good answer.
I've been working in the customer service field
Skills,
in the restaurant industry as a server
experience,
for about 5 years now.
time.
I really enjoy the industry as a whole, which is why I'm looking forward to this opportunity.
First, be concise. Keep your answer short and sweet. Your life may be interesting, but you want to keep the question relevant to the job. Which takes us to the next point, make sure you stay relevant. Your rock collection may be awesome, but they really don't need to see that. And finally, be excited. Don't forget you're talking about yourself here. So if you're excited, then they'll be excited about you too. Like we told you, this is a very common interview question. So your best bet to go into an interview is to make sure you practice this question before you go in. You don't want to be caught off guard, and something like this will most definitely be asked in one interview that you have. So today we're going to talk about the question, what are your strengths? This is a very common interview question, and you'll usually get this at the beginning of your interview, so you'll want to make sure that you have something to tell them. Now, it may be really tempting to answer with a fun talent you have.
I can lift 200 pounds now. It used to be my body weight, but I've cut down since then because of the veggies.
I was homecoming queen, and I was the best tennis player at Freeman High School.
I can beat any 6-year-old on the Xbox, NBA 2K10, hands down.
I'm a master at quoting movie lines. Seriously, put me to the test right now, and I'll tell you what movie it comes from.
I can tie a cherry stem with my teeth.
Now, that's not really telling the employer anything they're really looking for. What they want to know is if you have the strengths and skills that go with this position. Now, for example, if your job has you working with customers, focus on the fact that you're a people person and a problem solver.
One of my biggest strengths is my people skills. Introducing myself and starting conversations is no problem at all. Also, my experience has given me the time management skills that are required for this position. I understand that deadlines need to be met, and I'll go above and beyond to make that happen.
So if your job has you managing books or maybe working in the back of the house, talk about your organization skills and your attention to detail.
Organization is my thing. I'm one of those people that really can't stand to see a mess all over the place, and will find ways to keep even the strangest things organized. This requires an attention to detail. I like to keep a close eye on things to make sure that everything is in its place and that nothing slips through the cracks.
If you want to go a little further, you can always give them an example of how you use those strengths on the job. So if you feel like you really don't have any strengths to offer, think about things that you do outside of work that can be used in the business world. Like if you're an athlete, you can say that you're very dedicated. If you like to build things, you're very good working with your hands. like that you can weave into a job experience. So while this question may seem a little scary, it's really not that bad. Just pick 2 strengths that you have and 2 strengths that will make you a good employee and use that to your advantage. You got this. So thanks for joining. Today we're taking on the scary tell me what your weaknesses are question. This is a common interview question, and chances are you probably will see this in a job interview. Now, no one ever wants to admit they have weaknesses, especially when you're talking to a job interviewer. You don't want to tell someone that, hey, I'm the best person you have, but oh look, here are my weaknesses. So this question gives the employer the opportunity to see what, if anything, you need to make up for if you do get hired for the position. So you need to give a substantive answer with a real weakness that you do have. So stay away from the cliched and obvious answers like,
I work too hard.
I care too much. And then also avoid saying what you really want to say. I really don't have any, I'm just pretty perfect. So the answers you just heard are really lame and predictable. Employers know that you have faults. They have them, you have them, everyone has them, and it's okay to admit them. So trying to pass it off that you don't have any weaknesses may lead the employer to think that you aren't very self-aware and that you may be hard to manage on the job. You also want to stay away from weaknesses that don't have anything to do about the job and that may make you a little scary.
Very impatient. Back to my last job, my computer had a virus, so I threw it out the window.
I'm really bad at cartwheels. You want to see?
I don't speak fluent Portuguese yet.
Well, I really genuinely don't get along with anyone. At my last job, some guy ate my lunch, so I ended up setting his car on fire. You want to pick a trait that you can actually improve on, or think of something that's a flaw you have that you've been working to improve on. Try taking something negative and turning it into a positive. I used to be not so great at mapping out my time, but at my last job, it really forced me to be able to work on my time management skills. So now, in the morning, before I do anything, I do a to-do list, and that way I can make sure that all of my priorities are done for the day. This answer is a great way for the employer to see the initiative and the steps that you take to turn a weakness into a positive. It really shows that you have a great chance to grow in their company. Now, this question stinks. There's no getting around it, but employers probably will ask you this question. So if you practice your answers beforehand, you won't be thrown off by the, hey, what's wrong with you question. So thanks for this week. We're going to tackle the job interview question, why should we hire you? Now, chances are, if you do get this job interview question, they're going to ask you at the very end of the interview. It may be the last thing they say before they leave the room. So this is your last chance to leave a great impression and tell them why you would make the best fit for this position. So what you want to do is make sure you stay away from any real desperate sounding answers. You want them to be convinced that you want this job and not just any job.
Because I need a job so badly, and if I don't get this, I don't know what I'll do.
Because I'm awesome, and you would be really dumb not to hire such a rising star like me. You also want to stay away from the really cliched answers that don't give the employer a good idea of why you want that specific position. Because I'm a hard worker, and I really want to work here.
Because I do a really good job.
Employers really want to see what makes you stand out. Everyone says that they're a hard worker, and everyone says that they can get the job done. So your best bet is to be specific and tailor your experiences to fit the job description. I'm very motivated and a fast learner. I love your restaurant and see that you guys pride yourselves on your customer service, which is something I'm really passionate about, which is why I think I would be a great fit for your restaurant.
I've worked in retail for about 3 years now, and I know what level of service customers are expecting when they walk through the door. My experience makes me a great fit for this position, and I know that my personality will fit in really well with what you told me during the interview. Overall, I think I would be really successful in this position, and I think it would be a great fit.
So this is a great question to get remembered by. You really want to stress to the interviewer that you are the best candidate for this position and will be a great fit within their company. Make sure you stress how your personality and experience will blend well together. So thanks for joining us today.
Okay, so those were some of the examples of the job interview questions you will be getting when you go on a job interview. And weren't those people funny? You know, when they were giving, the not so good answers, to the interview questions, like, I could do a lot of push-ups, or, you want to see my pod collection? You want to answer honestly, but you also you don't want to tell them things that they don't want to hear. Okay, Cornerstone friends, that's all we have time for today, and thank you for watching, and next comes the song. Okay, Cornerstone friends, it's time for the song. Here's an old one by Buddy Holly. Oh, well, I love you, girl, and I love you, Peggy Sue. Peggy Sue, Peggy Sue. Oh, my heart just yearns for you, my Peggy Sue. Oh, well, I love you, gal, yes, I need you, Peggy Sue. Well, Peggy Sue, Peggy Sue. Pretty, 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 pretty Peggy Sue, my Peggy Sue. Well, I love you, girl, and I need you, Peggy Sue. Peggy Sue, Peggy Sue, hey, pretty, 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 pretty Peggy Sue, my Peggy Sue. Well, I love you, girl, I need you, Peggy Sue. Well, Peggy Sue, Peggy Sue, a pretty, 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 pretty Peggy Sue, my Peggy Sue. Oh, well, I love you, girl, I need you, Peggy Sue. Oh, well, I love you, girl, I need you, Peggy Sue. Kind of repetitious, huh?